I forgot to say this in a video, but before you start watching this, I gotta give you a warning. This video is not suitable for anyone who's like under the age of 16. Um, it's gonna be talking about a little bit explicit things. So, there's your warning. You can either take it or not. After all, you're just a human with free will, and I can't actually stop you. But just know that this is just not an appropriate video to watch if you're like under the age of 16. And if you're one of my family members watching this video, I'm really sorry. Maybe don't watch this one. Okay, thank you. Enjoy. Welcome back to the Paperback Podcast. It's been a while. It's been a month? No. A month? I'm so sorry, y'all. I kind of got kidnapped. I was kidnapped by, like, this Asian emo and some homeless looking blonde dude and these two other white guys. I don't know. It was interesting. I went to Portugal for a bit. That's where they took me. They said, we're only gonna release you if you give us Sour Patch Kids, and so I did. And well, here I am. They sent me back. I don't remember when I came back. I woke up today in the bed and I was like, well, it's time to get back to it. So today I thought we'd talk about something quite interesting. Um, where it all started. Where it all started, okay? There's a little something called TikTok you may have heard of. And then there's books. And together you have BookTok. I'm actually scared to talk about this. Okay, so listen. I have to compose myself. Okay, so okay. Let me break it down for you. There's one side of TikTok, completely normal, completely fine, innocent, talking about the books they've read, the books they want to read, about, oh, this happened in my book, and blah blah blah, making edits of the people in their book. Whatever. Completely normal. And then there's the other side that should be completely segregated from society. I don't think I can say that. No, you know what? I mean that. I mean that. There's one side of there's a side of BookTok that needs to be segregated. I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore, and I'm gonna speak out. I cannot take it anymore. I want to scroll on TikTok for 2 seconds without without having literally fucking like literal sex scenes explained on in written form. Can I scroll through TikTok without that happening for 2 seconds, please? No, apparently not. Because when I first joined BookTok, I was new to reading, right? This was like 2 years ago or something. I had just started really reading books. And I was like, you know what? I'm on TikTok a lot. Why not just find new books and stuff? So finding books. Then I start getting some romance recommendations. And I'm like, okay, I'm not really interested in reading romance. But okay. And then it escalated to more.
I need the filthiest, dirtiest, nastiest books that you guys have read in the past.
The Loser's Duet by Harley LaRue, The Four Horsemen series by Sarah Bailey, the New Camelot trilogy by Sierra Simone, The Ritual, The Sinner, and The Sacrifice, all by Chantal Tessier, Lilac by B.B. Reed, Black Sheep by Bryn Weaver, Nightfall by Penelope Douglas, and
No. I don't know when this happened. When did this happen? When did BookTok become a place to find porn? When the fuck did this happen? You know, I have my theories. I have my theories as to why this happened. I think this all started with Wattpad. This all started with Wattpad. If you don't know what Wattpad is this platform where people can write and people can publish stories and whatever. And there's some good stuff out there. But as with anything, when humans gain free will, it takes a dark turn. And there's a little something called smut, which is of the more sexual genre of book genres. And I mean, okay, we all know what the sex. Okay, we all know. But I never thought that it would reach this extent. Never. I mean, on Wattpad, it's mostly like fan fictions, you know, One Direction buys you, that kind of stuff, But now I somehow, like, I woke up one day, I was scrolling, and suddenly everything changed. I don't understand what I'm trying to find, like, the origin of all of this. Where is I don't see it. How did this happen? I don't understand. Okay? So, like, it's just so confusing. Okay, like, I scroll through TikTok and I'm looking at this, like, book recommendation, and I'm like, okay, let's check out the comments. Maybe someone who's already read the book has something to say. I go in the comments. Does this book have spice? Is there a lot of sex? I'm sorry, excuse me. Is there smut? What's the spice level? Okay. Alright. I guess. Okay. It seems like every book that gets recommended now is like, guys, you've gotta read this book. It has so much spice, so much smut, so much sex, so much sex scenes, and, like, everything. Oh my god. And what's happening? You cannot understand the absolute confusion I felt when I was scrolling innocently looking for book recommendations, and suddenly people are talking about porn. Literal porn. This is porn. You're reading porn. This is, like, do you think you're any better than those porn addicts on Instagram Reel comments? Do you think you're any better than those motherfuckers? No, you're not. Because if you're asking if every book recommendation that someone gives you, if that book has spice, then you're literally an addict. You're a porn addict. Okay. Like, isn't there, like, thousands of studies saying porn damages your brain? This is why you shouldn't watch porn. Reading it is no exception. Do you think you're any different? But now, like, it's not men who are the porn addicts, it's women. And I'm like, oh my goodness, how does that happen? Like, I'm not saying that women can't read whatever the fuck they want. But if it comes to a point where you can't read a book without knowing that there's gonna be sex in it at some point, then you have a problem. What the fuck? Like, you can't say, yeah, I read books, I read a lot, if the only thing you're reading is explicit scenes. Not the same thing. No. Someone who is a, I don't know, Franz Kafka reader, British. Someone who is a Franz Kafka reader, or however the fuck you say that name, is not the same as someone who reads books by H.D. Carlton. Not the same thing. And listen, okay, I'm not trying to be all like holier than thou. I'm better than you because I don't read romance books. I'm not trying to be like that. But I think that this new wave of popularity of, like, romance novels has led to porn addiction. And people normalizing asking, like, hey, is there gonna be a lot of sex in this book? Because if not, I don't know if I can read it. Do you know how crazy that sounds? Do you know if someone came up to me and was like, hey, I read this excellent book. I'm like, okay, what's it about? I mean, I don't know. The sex is great though. The spice, I mean, the everything. No, get away from me. I don't even know. Listen, in my opinion, romance and smut's completely different. Completely different. I'm fine with the romance novel readers. I've become friends with them. But the smut readers are this unhinged, disgusting, vile group of people that I'm not saying, listen, okay, I sound like such a snob. I'm not saying that if you like watch porn or read porn or whatever, you're disgusting. But if you're taking to an extent where it's normal to ask a 17-year-old author if his book about a dystopia or science fiction kind of thing has smut in it, then I think we have a little bit of a problem. I think we have a little bit of something that we need to be a little bit worried about. And I don't know if I'm the only one seeing that. I don't think I am. I think there's already a bunch of people who are like, y'all are weird. Y'all are porn addicts for asking about this kind of stuff, you know? Like, I don't know. It's just weird. Why did we let books become about this kind of stuff? Books are supposed to be about learning, about developing yourself. It's about reading fun stories. Sure, I'm not saying every book you read has to make you a genius, I'm not saying that. There's fun books to read as well. What books aren't there for is to become the next Pornhub. I'm putting it out there. Why are we making books the new Pornhub? How? How even? I don't know anyway. Okay, so we're gonna move on a little bit from that. We're gonna talk about another aspect of BookTok, which I find very strange. Somehow bikers and people who read somehow have become intertwined. There's some sort of crossover. I don't know where it came from. I really don't know. But one day I'm scrolling and then I see this TikTok that's like, it's like this dude on his motorcycle who's like, I don't know, is like, and there's like 50 videos like this, and they're like, the BookTok girlies belong to the bikers. What are you saying right now? What are you, what? And then there's also the BookTok people who are like, yeah, the bikers belong to us. What the fuck are you talking about? These are grown ass people, need I remind you. It's either like teenagers or literally grown ass women and men saying this kind of stuff. Don't you have a job to go to? Don't you like gotta clock in for your 9 to 5? What are you doing? What are you doing? The BookTok girlies, they belong to us. Tell me you're unemployed without telling me you're unemployed. Where's your next check coming from, buddy? Where's it coming from? Where's it coming from? Is it coming from posting thirst traps on TikTok with your motorcycle? No, I don't think so. What? It's like this weird, I don't know. I don't know, maybe these people who read a lot of smut, they gain some sort of like fascination with bikers. And then they were like, yes, hand them over to us. What do you mean? Like, what is this? When did they cross each other's paths? When did they become like interrelated? How? I'm actually like perplexed. Like I don't understand how this happened. It's like it just came out of nowhere. It's like the Big Bang. Like what the fuck? Oh my god. Yeah. So listen, people can do what they want, but you know what that means? That means that people can criticize whatever the fuck they want, and I'm gonna criticize whatever the fuck I want because I find this shit so fucking weird. I find it so weird. Can we have one thing that doesn't become extremely sexualized? Can we have one thing that doesn't become like some sort of like fetishization. Like, just one thing. Not even books are safe. How did this happen? And another problem I have with it is that a bunch of like the smut and like the romance is really dark. Really, really dark. A great example of this is Haunting Adeline. Haunting Adeline. I haven't even read this book. No, actually, my friend has this book, and I looked through a couple of the pages. I was done. I was like, who the fuck reads this? There's a great video by Nikki Carrion. I watched it. She really explains the book very, very well and explains everything. Like, it's just it's hilarious video. I loved it. I love her. She's great. Great video. Go watch it if you want to know what that book is all about. But all I can tell you is that at some point I considered, hey, maybe I should read this for my podcast. And I fear if I do, it will be my last video. I'm probably going to... Should I read it? Should I read Haunting Adeline for the purpose of this podcast? I mean, I was gonna read a bunch of Colleen Hoover books anyway, so why not just continue the spiral? Okay, yeah, we're gonna read Haunting Adeline. And for my sanity, I'm gonna skip over any scenes that are too explicit. Because I'm not trying to read that. I've heard some disgusting things about this book, some disgusting scenes, and I'm just wondering, how on earth is this a romance? How on earth are there people saying that the main male character is so dreamy, so romantic, and he's everything that we want? Oh my god, I just want to marry him. You're crazy. You're actually crazy. You're crazy. You're insane. You're crazy. I'm not even... No. Guys, not everything has to be about sex, right? Right? Not everything has to be about sex. It doesn't all have to be about that. Can we make books just about books? I'm not saying we should ban sex from books, but like, can we just not ask if every book has spice and say that you can't read a book unless there's spice in it? Perhaps, maybe could we do that? Maybe, pretty please. That would be great. That would be really, really great. Another great example comes to mind: 50 Shades of Grey. The blueprint. That's what it is. I think I mentioned this in my romance novels video. I don't need to bring that up again. If you know, you know. I'm sorry, I just took a little break scrolling on BookTok for a while. I don't want to talk about it. Listen, BookTok can be great. There can be great recommendations. Almost all of the books that I've bought is because of BookTok. There's a great online community about books. But sometimes people just don't know where to stop. People don't know where to stop. And it gets really weird and really creepy. Anyways, so that was this episode of the Paperback Podcast. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, like, subscribe, and comment. There we go. I'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.